This is your life, and it is ending 1 minute at a time. I always find this concept particularly a fascinating one. It's the concept of life. It's the constant concept of, how we utilize life, what we do in this life, and how we create meaning of it. And I've often spoken about the one of so many people, and I do mean so many people, die at 25, but wait to be buried until 75. They hate their life. They hate every aspect around it. They hate where they've gotten to. They hate their job. They hate their body. They're fundamentally unhappy with every aspect of their life. And yet, they choose not to change it. That it feels too much, it feels overwhelming, that it's impossible, that it can't be done, that maybe life was unfair, maybe you had a few hard tricks, and it just didn't, life just didn't go your way. But the harshest reality of all of this is, it's still up to you. At the end of the day, it's the greatest blessing and the hardest pill to swallow, is that your life is a direct reflection of your choices. You want a different life? You want life to be different? Make better choices. Make different choices. At the bare minimum, make different ones. You gotta start somewhere. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable. You're not going to enjoy it. But fuck, if you're already hating your life, what have you got to lose at this point? This concept that it is what it is and we accept it as that is. No. Take life by the horns and fucking do something about it. Change it. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take consistent, long-term effort. It's going to take you breaking the mold of who you are at the moment and stepping into the man that you want to be. You're literally going to kill the old version of you to be reborn as the greatest version of yourself. And then consistently and unendingly level up from that point. Why would that be easy? Why would that be comfortable? The reason why we admire great people who've done great things in their life, is because they've done things that we, most of the time, put it down to are incapable of doing, but in fact are unwilling to do the work required. People who achieve more have just kept showing up. And look, there's going to be outliers, and of course we can point to the fucking outliers on that. As to, these people. Yeah, you were never going to be Michael Jordan. But maybe you could have been Tom Brady. There was nothing genetically gifted about Tom Brady. That man just had a work ethic. And often, in fact, not even just often, always, the greats who are truly great, who transcend above all the rest, also worked harder. They made the hard choices. They sacrificed for the things that they wanted to lead the life that they truly desired. And I think that's part of it, that so few people are willing to do the work because it's not guaranteed. And that's fair. It's a hard one to put in time, effort, money, consistency to something that's not guaranteed. I get that. It's hard to bank on things that there's no guarantee of outcome. But I'm also here to tell you that anything of value in life doesn't have a guaranteed outcome. The reason why it holds value is because you have to put up some form of risk to achieve it. There has to be some form of risk, otherwise everyone would just have it. If it was just about a guaranteed outcome and a bit of effort, everyone would have everything they've ever wanted in this life. But it's not that way, because there has to be some risk. There has to be some risk that you won't make it. But more than anything, I find the risk of not making it comes down to A, not giving enough intensity, B, not giving enough consistency. If you show up on a long enough time period with maximum intensity and with massive consistency, I don't care what it is, you will succeed at some point. At some level, in some manner, you will fucking succeed. But you have to give that level of intensity. You have to show up. You have to be willing to risk it. But on the flip side, yeah, I get there's no guarantee in success. There's no guarantee that you will achieve these results. But I can guarantee that you'll continue to hate your fucking life if you don't change. I can guarantee that you are going nowhere fast that you want to be. I can guarantee that if you're already miserable and disgusted with the man in the mirror, what's adding time to that going to do? If you're not making any changes, what's adding more time down the track going to do? It's just going to make it worse. So yeah, the guarantees I can give you in life are the bad ones. And if your life is shit and you're miserable and you hate everything about yourself, been there, done that. The guarantee of you continuing the same actions that got you into the situation is that it will get fucking worse. Or you could take a risk. You take a risk on yourself. Back yourself. Take a risk on achieving something of merit, of value, of worth. Achieving something that matters to you in this life. And I don't know about you, but that sounds a hell of a lot better to me. It sounds a hell of a lot better than continuing down this path that you don't like. Because we all want to succeed in this life. We all want to reach something of value. And what your greatness is will depend on you. But I can guarantee you that if you want to achieve some form of greatness in this life, it starts with getting into great fucking shape. And I know, I get people all the time and they're like, oh, what about this guy? You know, what about Bill Gates or fucking Jeff Bezos or these guys? You also notice that all of them but Gates have now realized that, maybe they'll function better. Maybe they'll reach even higher levels if they're in great fucking shape. You know, those top tier guys, those intellectuals beyond behemoths beyond us, are also realizing that they could have an even better output, an even better life if, you know, lo and behold, they took care of their physical capacity, the thing that creates energy, the thing that creates momentum, that allows them to do the work, that thing, that it creates space away from being in their head the whole time. Yeah. So getting into great fucking shape will impact every area of your life. It is the gateway drug to greatness. It is the gateway drug to everything else. Not only does it teach you the skills of it, it teaches you grit, it teaches you discipline, it teaches you focus, it teaches you determination, it teaches you to keep your word, it teaches you to have intensity and consistency. It teaches you all these factors that are going to have long-lasting and far-reaching benefits to your life. That it is honestly mind-boggling to me that everyone doesn't invest in it. There is no greater investment in your life than into you. You, the thing that creates your whole life. You that dictates it. You know? It's the thing that keeps pushing you forward. Of course it's going to have benefits if you get healthier. Of course it's going to have benefits if you get stronger. Of course it's going to have benefits if you feel more confident about yourself. Of course it's going to have benefits if you go, I can do hard shit and overcome it. Of course your life's going to be better from that. Why wouldn't it be? But so many of us want to avoid this truth, avoid this conundrum that, hey, we might have to physically work hard to improve our life. We might have to stop saying yes to all the things that are sedating us, all the things that have failed us, all the things that, well, have led us to this point so far. We might have to actually say no to those things and start making big adult decisions towards the life that we actually want. As I said, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable. You're not going to enjoy a lot of it. To begin with. But once you get into it, once you start to realize the power of it, once you start to see the results that can come from these choices, yeah, you're gonna fucking love it. When you start to be the man that you have always wanted to be, become that man, yeah, it's gonna feel fucking amazing. When people start asking you how you did it, then it's gonna feel great. But we're dying 1 minute at a time. Every choice we make is a choice of our life slipping away. And we need to attach meaning and value and importance to this life. We need to start, well, truly choosing what's of value to this. And this is the one I keep coming back to. And don't get me wrong, like, as I said, I have been you. I have been fat. I have been overweight. I have hated the man in the mirror. I have been disgusted with every inch of that. I have been down that path before. I'm also one who has had immense struggles with sedation. You know, I love junk food. I love alcohol. I love wine and pizza and whiskey and TV and doom scrolling and all those kinds of stuff. But I know that I don't actually love them. I love the dopamine release I get from them. I love the quick cheat code that I get. That, ooh, like a crack monkey pulling the crank to get a bit more, crank. Pulling the crank to get more crank. Yeah, that's what I love. I love the high of those things. I don't actually love them. They don't bring happiness. They don't bring satisfaction. They don't bring fulfillment. They don't bring joy. They don't bring improvement. They don't bring growth. They don't bring value. They provide nothing but hiding from the life that we are living. And that's the problem. And that is the biggest problem. And when, I know it's an extreme example, and no, we're not going to live in that world the whole time. But let me ask you this. When you're on holiday, and you're having the best fucking time, are you going, man, I really want to sit on my phone and scroll? Man, I want to watch some TV right now. No, you're in the moment, enjoying the fucking process. You're enjoying the experiences of life. You're not trying to hide away from it. The goal of this is trying to build a life that lives that way, that life is so fucking amazing. You're so engaged with life that you don't need the sedation. But here's the catch-22 on that. You're not going to build it while you're still partaking in the sedation. You're not going to reach the point that you don't need and want it until you've removed it from your life. Until you have the capacity to make the choices to be like, these aren't the things that I need in my life. These aren't the things that I want and desire in my life. You won't be able to move forward with that until you reach that point. And this is the problem. This is the gap. That you have to make the decision now. And you have to make the choice now. You have to act as if you are already that man. Then you can achieve those things. Then you can reach that level that you want, need, and desire. But it won't happen while you're still acting as the same old you. It won't happen while you're still the old version of you. Because while you continue to facilitate the habits that got you to this point, shock horror, you're going to continue to stay stuck at that point. You're going to have to rewire how you think about yourself. You're going to have to rewire your thoughts and processes and actions. You're going to have to rewire the choices that you make in this life. Only then will you be able to reach the life that you want, be able to become the man you want. And it's a hard process. I get criticized for talking about this because people are like, well, you're going to scare people off. Nobody's going to want to, do that if you keep telling them how difficult it is. And I was like, maybe. But the right people will understand that, yeah, it is going to be difficult, but it's going to be fucking worth it. You know what's also difficult? You also know what's really hard? Looking in the mirror and being disgusted with yourself. That's also really fucking hard. You know what's really hard? Disappointing your children because you are physically incapable of doing the things that they want from you. That's really fucking hard. You know what's hard? Is being so disgusted with yourself that you're ashamed to have sex with your wife. Yeah, that's fucking hard. You know what's hard? Living a life that you're ashamed of. Living a life that you have failed your family in. Because you made choices that were easy for you in the moment, but weren't the right choices for them. Yeah, that's fucking hard too. Here's the hard truth of life. It's all hard. You're just not seeing how hard it is right now because you're sedating. You're hiding from the choices. You are sedating and giving in to your instant gratification and hiding from the reality of your life. You're not facing your reality head on. Your life is hard already. You're just hiding from the fact that it's hard. But don't worry, it'll catch up at some point. At some point, it'll give you that wake-up call and you'll realize how fucking hard your life is because you continually chose easy. And you can continually chose to waste these minutes because remember, you're dying 1 minute at a time. Our life is flashing before us. We're just too engrossed and sedated to fucking realize that that's what is transpiring. But yeah, life is fucking hard. The question becomes, which hard do you want it to be? Do you want it to be hard because you made all the wrong choices? You refuse to instill even 1 ounce of discipline into your life to make the choices that actually matter, to make the choices towards things that are going to progress you forward? Or do you want it to be hard because you chose to do the work? You chose to do things that were difficult, but overall fulfilled you, overall uplifted you, overall built a life that you are happy with, that you are proud of, that you're excited to live every single day. Because that hard has upside. That hard has benefits. That hard is a life worth fucking living. It's not one that's slipping away that you will look back on your deathbed and go, where the fuck did it go? What did I do with it? Because you're not going to remember those doom scrolls. You're not going to remember those TV shows. You're not going to remember that shitty pizza you ate while drinking a shitty beer on the couch. No. It's going to be the things that meant something to you. So, if you are ready for that, if you're ready to step forward and step into the life that you know you should be leading, not just for you, but for your wife and your children and all those who depend on you. If you're ready for that, click the link in my bio. Let's get you into chasing greatness daily, and let's start that process. Because that's how we begin. We begin with discipline through fitness. And I cannot wait to see you then.